Hi everyone, welcome to our new adventure. We are setting off on a little bit of an adventure here and trying podcasting. So what we're going to do is give you an idea what this podcast is going to be like and maybe show some of our finished projects or lots of projects on needles and go from there. So you're going to have to let us know what you think of this. Becca, what do you think of our adventure?
So it started with Loma going, "Oh, I saw a podcast." And it was kind of like that American Pie thing. This one time in band camp, it was this one time on a podcast. I thought she was crazy, but guess what? We're doing one. So ours is called the Road Camp Girls Crafty Pod. Yeah, Crafty Pod.
Crafty Pod.
Yeah. Instead of podcast.
Crafty Cast.
Crafty Cast, yeah.
Something like that.
Something, I don't know.
Work in progress.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm Echo Rogenkamp, and this is Loma Rogenkamp.
We are sisters. And we, from a young age, learned a lot of different crafts. Everything from crocheting, sewing, right into, we had a small farm, gardening, we did food processing, canning, gardening, you name it, we probably tried it. And we've continued that tradition of our family ever since now. And we've gotten a lot deeper into it. Our parents are like, wow, we would never have thought of trying that. So we have a lot of things that we can show people and give you an idea of, just try it. See how it comes out. This is something that has been done before and you can do it. So that's part of this cast, is the fact that we're going to try to snip together all the different things that we do to give everybody an idea of how we're always really busy, as people tell us. And we're going to see how that works. What else do we have?
So, a lot of podcasters, there's a lot of different ways to do it. We've seen a lot of them where they just sit here and they talk about patterns and their projects and all that. But then we've also seen some that clip in their day-to-day life. We're not going to do one every day. We're going to start with like a quarterly one. So this one is springtime.
Which is going to feature everything from the winter. So welcome to spring, and this is what we've finished.
Yeah, pretty much. But as it goes on, it'll go into, we'll spend more time in the garden. And then in the fall, we'll spend more time on canning. But right now, it's mainly just crafts because we've been inside in the wintertime doing crafts, which we love. But yeah.
So we've got, one thing we thought about is another podcaster had said that they were doing this as documenting life. All the little items that they've done through the seasons and looking back and seeing what they've done, which I think is a really good way, because I know I'm not a journaler. I don't like a Dear Diary kind of thing, and I don't remember anything. So maybe a video journal for me would be the best. And then again, like I said, showing everybody all the things we do, because every time we talk to people, they're like, man, you're always busy, and we don't feel like we do.
No, I like TV.
We stay busy, but yeah, we watch a lot of TV and go walking and doing stuff that typically, I don't know if it's busy work or not, but maybe we'll see a pattern going on here. And other big thing is maybe it'll motivate us to finish all our projects, because we have a lot of started projects. I feel like they're just weighting the house down in case a big wind comes or something. So maybe we could motivate ourselves and others to start getting some of those projects they started, or wish projects. Is that what they call them? Wish projects?
Dream projects.
Dream projects, yes.
That's what it's called.
That's, yeah.
We got lots of those.
Oh, yeah. Loma loves to think of things. So, but that's kind of where we're going with that. And I do want to do a shout out to the Yarn Hoarder. She was one of the first podcasts I followed. I loved her enthusiasm and really the way she put things together. And then I moved on to So Ray Me UK. I love the way that she put her podcast together with kind of snippets and stuff. So I'm kind of mimicking that a little bit to show different things we do out throughout the day, or throughout the quarter as we're calling it. So,
or season, however you want to.
Yeah. So, I think we're going to go into the different projects that we're working on. So there might be a lot of projects here, and I know that I'm not the greatest about knowing which yarns I started and stuff. We both do have a Ravelry page that we're trying very hard to journal in, and keep what our projects up to date on there. I know I just updated mine. Mine is Narwhal21, and I'll put that below so you'll know how to spell that lovely word. And Echo, what's yours?
Mine is Crocosmia24. We love unusual names, but I just updated a few projects on mine, but I will try to do more. I usually have a problem with remembering my password, so we'll get better at that. But anyways, you want to start?
I'll go ahead and get into the projects. So I've got my project bag here, and this is what I'm calling my violet socks. So this project, or this pair of socks, was my favorite vanilla socks. And as you can see, they're just a basic pair of socks. They are cuffed down, so I could try them on as I did them. And this is in a hand-dyed yarn that I did myself. I used Wilton's food gel, and this is a violet. They call it a dip dye. So I left it in the skein and I dipped it in slowly so that certain colors would absorb before other colors. So that's why you get this variation. So I've got one sock done, and the other one is not far off, which will probably still take me a week because I'm a slow knitter and don't always have the best amount of time, but I'm getting there. So I'm very excited about that one. This pattern is done by the Unapologetic Knitter, and there's also a podcast about it. I will put the podcast at the bottom. I forgot to note it, that she goes through this pattern and she knits with you. It's a great podcast. It really kind of takes all your scares and concerns away of starting a knitting sock with all the different terminology and stuff, but I really recommend that, and I will note it on the bottom. The next one I have is, I'm calling these my bamboo socks. They are, the sock, or the pattern is Impossible Girl Sock, which, if I understand it, it's a reference to Doctor Who, the female doctor, which I stopped watching after Rose, but that's me. This is a really cute sock. It looks like it's got mock cable on it. I don't know if you can see that, but there is a very good picture of it on my Ravelry. The yarn I am using is SMC on the toe bamboo. It's 25% bamboo, or I'm sorry, 75% bamboo and 25% nylon. It is so soft and silky. I think this is going to be a perfect sock for the summer, because who wants to wear really woolly socks in the summer? Unless you got a cold office like some people we know. But it's a really easy stitch to do, and I'm very excited about this one. And my project that I haven't done much with recently, but I love the yarn, is what they call the Co-Pilot Cow. And this is a pattern I got from my local yarn store here in Blue Earth. She had a stack of patterns. Becky, hi Becky. She had a bunch of patterns free, and I picked this one up. It is a cow that uses sock yarn, and so I had done this sock yarn. It's got a really pretty pattern to it, very lightweight. It's going to be very not necessarily a winter warm cow, which is okay because I don't necessarily like a lot of stuff around my neck, but it's nice lightweight. The yarn is AJHC Wools. This is a yak sock blend that she does. It's 75% Murano, 20% yak, and 10% nylon. And the colorway is Sweater Weather, which is really cool. It's got the burgundies and the hunter greens and the navy colors in it. So I got to get back on this one. Maybe this will motivate me to start getting on that a little bit more. So
maybe,
hopefully. And my last work in progress, it's not a continual project, is my Wonder cardigan. Like I said, we have a local yarn shop around here, and BS Studios.
Yep.
She has kind of an art gallery kind of situation going on, but she has got a nice little area of a whole bunch of yarns. So we're trying to get the yarn group around here, start people knitting and crocheting so we can have a group of people to hang out with. But she had started a crochet along.
Yeah.
And par for the course, the crochet along is done and Loma is not even half done. I might be a quarter done. That's about all I got. It's called the Wonder Cardigan. This is going to be a gift for my mother. She, I think she'd like a cardigan. It's done out of again, a sock yarn, a lightweight yarn that is really light. So it's going to be a nice summer, just kind of throw on, get that little warm, maybe get the breeze off of you. But it is, it's a pattern done out or sent out by Expression Fiber Arts, and it's Kristen Smiley is the producer or the creator of the pattern. And I am using Knit Picks Stroll Finger. This is the Tiger Eye hand painted. So you can kind of see it's got a nice little browns and blacks to it. I thought I'd go with everything. And then I had taken another skein of yarn and dyed it black. So I just kept putting dye into it until it gave me that. Unfortunately, I think sometimes the color shows out as navy, but it is close to black. Close to black. When we wear it from a distance, it will look very nice. But that is a work in project. That is a crocheted pattern. And I'm kind of excited. I like the fact that I've already dyed the color. So this is the second project I got with my own dyed yarn in it. And the only other project or continual project, I'll call it.
Always doing.
Always a whip, a continual whip, is my nylon scrubbies. I have been making nylon scrubbies since, I don't know, in my teens maybe.
Probably.
My mom had a craft business, or has a craft business, and they, she started making them, and one day I'm like, well, just show me how to make them. So we were in a boat, I think, fishing with Dad or something. I don't know. She showed me how to do it because I couldn't read patterns. They confused me all the time. So I started making them. I know that one year when she was doing a lot of craft shows, I made over 300 nylon scrubbies. And I'll tell you what, she never not sold them. They were always a sale item. So these are my finished ones, and I've always got a bag full of scrubbies to be knitted up. They are really quick. They are something that I can take, like, you know, just 2 or 3 of them and have them with me and always be able to crochet something up. And it's a quick project or a quick finish. So something we do all the time is whenever we finish a project, we throw it at each other. And that way, if, you know, someone wasn't sure if you were doing anything, you can just throw it at them.
Yeah.
You gotta
then
love,
you can check them back.
You gotta love sisterly love.
Or go in the kitchen, you know.
Yeah, you know.
And our family members love them.
Yes.
Lorraine, they don't belong in the garbage disposal, but
Yeah.
we'll send you more.
They last really long unless you put them through a garbage disposal. I don't know what to tell you. Don't put them through the garbage disposal. But Echo, what do you have as projects or finished projects or FOs or I don't know what they call them. What are you working on?
Loma had a nice like outline of everything, and I do not. So we will see how this goes. So my favorite vanilla sock, I was gonna do that one as well. So I had received some yarn from a friend for my birthday, and I had started the Hermione's Everyday Socks and got mad multiple times, ripped it out multiple times. So I switched to this one. I will get back to the Hermione ones because I want to do them. I just finished last night.
Yay.
One of them.
Finished.
The pointy one.
The pointy
The non-pointy one was done later. So this is the color.
We were watching something with elves.
Yeah,
Maybe that's why it's pointy.
So this is my second pair of socks, and they look big, but I still need to wash them and then block them again, and hopefully they won't be too big to wear.
If not, that would just be like cold winter socks.
Yeah. So my
Ooh.
next one, if I can get this undone, maybe. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that was an internal circle of yarn.
Yeah, I know. Well, so I don't know what pattern I'm going to do, but this is going to be my next pair of socks. This is some yarn that I dyed, and we will show pictures of the process because I thought it was really cool. I took like a stock pot and I put 5 different jars in it and then put the dye in the jars and then looped this from jar to jar. Didn't know if it was going to work. It's trial by error. Or error, I don't know. It was an error. It was
Big
nice.
trial, that's all
It was a trial. So, and this is just a Knit Picks stroll fingering as well. So yeah, that'll be my next sock. Don't know what pattern.
We're kind of excited to see, you know, we didn't necessarily stripe it, but what kind of pattern's going to come out of it, because it was just a hank that she opened up and then kind of dripped in. So it's going to definitely have some pooling, but it's going to be really interesting. What do you got there?
So, for Christmas, I made quite a few hats from, I took a hat class from Jessica Anderson. She was at BS Studios and she was teaching everybody how to knit. So I took a hat class from her and I made lots of them for Christmas. I still have stuff left over, so I'm finishing another hat. This one has been ripped out multiple times because I did colors and then I didn't have enough of the hot pink. So we're continuing on this hat and it'll be done eventually.
It's a stash buster.
It is a stash buster, yes. So, new bag. Loma got it for Christmas. This is my puppy, Morgan.
Who's that by?
I don't know. Who is it by? Oh, the Silver Shed USA. So, very nice. Has cute dog prints on it.
Yeah,
Love
she
it.
was so helpful. She had the print and, you know, did coordinating items and everything. I loved her bags.
So, this is a pattern that I got from Becky, and it is called Close to You. And so that I'm making that shawl because she had one at the store and was able to try it on, and I loved it. And then, so this is mine so far. We'll see how it goes. But this yarn is actually the same yarn that Loma's making her cowl out of, except for it does not have yak. It's the same colorway, except for mine is lighter, which I like.
Yeah, it's interesting with the yak blended in. It definitely makes a difference. There's a lot more white and lighter colors in that one.
But she got this yarn while she was traveling in Michigan. So, and I love it. See all the pretty colors.
AJHC's wool, she was doing a trunk sale at the Little Yarn Shop. I'll have to put down where that yarn shop is, but it was so fun to see all the different colors. And I actually, funny story, I went in there and was going to buy a whole bunch of yarn. I kept taking pictures of the table where all the yarn is, and I'd send it to Echo, and Echo just circled the one she likes, and I'd take a closer picture and like, okay, well, I don't need to buy all these. Which one do you really like? And she'd circle more. It was so funny. The people in the store probably thought I was nuts.
Yeah, well, typical. So the next one I have, I had received a Harry Potter scarf that's double knitted. And
Right?
A pattern, yes.
Did you get the scarf really?
No.
Oh, okay. Just
a pattern from a friend, Karen. And I'm really excited about it, but I've never done double knitting before, so I don't want to just jump right in. So I found a free pattern online, and this is Celtic Patterns for Double Knit Hooded Scarf. We love Celtic knots. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do these two and just keep doing this sequence for a little bit. That was the plan, but I've only gotten this far, but it takes a while. It really does. I didn't think it was going to take so long.
Double, right?
Yes, you are knitting double. There is a few mistakes, but I don't think it's too bad.
It's super thick.
Yeah, super thick.
It'd be very nice and warm on these Minnesota cold nights.
She's going to get it. And
it's for me. Yay!
And this is just some chunky yarn that we had gotten. All right, I think our aunt had got us at an auction. So,
It's a stash buster.
Yeah, yet again, a stash buster. So I'm going to show a couple finished products.
Well, you're kind of mixing it all together here.
Well, another one that we're working on. This back here is a quilt that it's not finished. It's just the top. I need to do the borders still. I had picked out the colors at, was it Dutchman's?
I think so.
I think. So it's a Amish bulk store that has a huge selection of fabric down in, oh, Mom's gonna know this right off the top of her head. It's in Missouri.
There you go.
Cantrell.
Cantrell. Yeah, we'll put it below.
We'll put it below. So I went a little crazy with batiks.
Yeah,
and then I was like, well, what am I gonna do with all these? And then I found this pattern.
She's digging for a pattern.
Well, I don't know if I. Oh, here it is. There we go.
Good thing we don't put anything away.
No. It's called The Irish Moss. So this is the book that I found it in. I bought the book just for this.
Just for the picture on the front.
Yeah, just that. There's a few other ones in here, but I like this one the best. So it's been at least 4 years since I bought this fabric.
Yeah.
Probably 3 since I bought the book, and I only started this winter. In between that, I had done another quilt with this fabric, which we'll probably show in another video. I did a Bargello for the first time. That was fun. So that's a work in progress. This scarf I had made, it's crocheted, and I just did like double crochets, and then there's 3 strands, and I just braided them. It's super long, so I'd have it 3 times, but I think it looks good.
Yeah.
It's nice and fuzzy. It's against my neck.
It's for those times in your office when you're like, oh, I wish there was heat.
Yeah. And then this is a virus shawl that Loma had made for me for Christmas.
Oh, do you want me to hold some of that?
Yeah.
It just goes and goes.
Lots of pretty colors. So yeah. So that's one wonderful gift that I got from Loma.
And then one of my finished projects is the cardigan that I'm wearing. It's called the Habitat cardigan by Jess Copham. This is another stash buster. It was some Magic Match 3 bulky yarn I got somewhere, and it's in a charcoal. It's kind of an odd shape. It's kind of got a big collar, and I don't know. There's some really good pictures on my Ravelry. I did a little photo shoot with the dog and everything, and we have 2 dogs. Hopefully they'll be quiet during this, but there'll be pictures of them running around and being hooligans on the podcast here. But yeah, it gets a little interesting to wear. You got a little limitation in your arms, but for my very first sweater, I'm good with it. Yeah. It's complete.
It's finished.
Woohoo!
It's finished.
Okay. I was going to take a video of him walking nicely on the sidewalk, but it's terrible twos for the puppy, so probably not going to get nice video. Got puppy 1 and puppy 2. Come
on, Slowpoke. Dum 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 dum.
Hi everybody. I wanted to see if I could set up a video of something we're making for dinner. Last night I went to a Ninja Foodie, or actually air fry class. It kind of got me thinking I should try some other things on my Ninja Foodie. So the first thing I'm going to do is make some hard-boiled eggs, which looks like will take only about 4 minutes. That's after everything pressures up and we cool it down. So we're going to put some eggs in there and see what happens. Okay, we're back. Took me a little bit. Of course, I pulled the eggs out of the fridge and they needed to be washed. We get farm fresh eggs from several people in town, and we were able to get some really nice eggs. And of course, some people wash them and some people don't before they sell them. So I had to wash this batch. I decided to go with a whole dozen, figuring we could have some nice egg salad sandwiches later. So here's my 12 dozen egg, or my 12 eggs. I'm going to put in a half a cup of water. And we're going to go ahead and put on the lid. This is my, there we go. It needs to be on high at 4 minutes. And then start. And that will come up to pressure. And then we'll be able to count down, and we'll put in a cooling ice bath and see if they peel wonderful like they say they do. Of course, I think that has to do with the store-bought eggs opposed to farm fresh, but this will be a good trial. See you later. Okay, so my 4 minutes is up. I did a quick release of the pressure valve, and now I have my eggs in the ice bath. And it looks like one decided his home was a little too small, so he popped out. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like inside, if it's actually cooked outside the egg or popped open after it cooked. So we'll set them in here until they're cool, and then we'll start peeling. So here we are prepping the next part, or the main course of our dinner. So we've decided to do some chicken breasts that we're going to stuff with pesto that we made in 2018 that has been in the freezer, and some mozzarella cheese. So I will show you what that looks like before I go ahead and put it in the foodie. It is going to go on air fry for about 20 minutes. So we'll see how that comes out. Here is what the chicken breast looks stuffed. I put quite a bit of pesto in them. I put the cheese in first so we're not having a whole bunch of melting. Maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong, but we'll see how it goes. I have put a little bit of oil in the frying basket. I'm going to lay these in there, and I will start air frying for about 20 minutes. So while the foodie does the air frying of the chicken, I thought I'd go ahead and open some of these eggs and see if they peel really nicely like they say they do. Of course, this one here, he decided he was going to be too big for a shell, and obviously he comes out nicely. Don't know if he's cooked all the way or watery, but let's see what we have for any of them that did not pop their shells. Okay, so the foodie has finished, so we're gonna pull this chicken out and see what it looks like, if I can get them out. Okay, so like we had said, we have Ravelry accounts, but I also wanted to bring up that we do have an Etsy shop. doing all this crafting, we need to find an avenue to get this stuff to people, or all our families just gonna have tons of gifts. So some of the things that we've featured on this video are some project bags. You probably saw us pulling some of these out. Some of these project bags are our test items. Like if you look at Echo's,
Yep.
go ahead and open that up. It has a double rope.
Yeah.
You can see it was a little tight to do. So we adapted to that. This one was another one where I put an actual area for a ribbon to go through. It's nice, but I can't necessarily get it all the way closed because all this was bunching up. So that was an evolution in itself. This is an example of one that I do have on the shop right now, is a 1 string. It has a flat bottom, and as you can see, it with a skein of yarn in it, it sits by itself. You can roll it down. This one I put 2 different colors, so it is reversible. But I'm able to do a 1 skein project. So I've got a yarn ball. Wow. I got a yarn ball. I've got my 2 socks, pattern, and pencil in it. And I still have room for, you know, some other items in there, but a very simple, just trying to keep some of that yarn contained when you're working on your projects. I think that works great. And I have a couple here to show you that are actually on the shop, just to give you some ideas of colors and stuff. So we'll go through a couple of those. Echo, how have you liked your project bag? Like, what were you doing before and what are you doing now?
Okay, so before we just had yarn bowls, which are kind of hard to take with you. I have broken one already. But we were just using just regular tote bags, kind of, and they were really big, and it just...
The yarn balls will just all over in there. It didn't... I feel like these are able to contain a lot of just the yarn ball itself. So if you got projects that got multiple ones, you can have multiple of these, and each one has its own. So like this one, we did a fun, funky color on the outside and then a matching color on the inside. We did the same thing with some of Echo's actual boutiques out of her quilt.
I shared.
You know,
it's all good.
We got to use all of our items. So we've got this one that's got black. This one Echo has claimed for herself.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's
tie-dye.
And this is actually the back off of my t-shirt quilt that maybe I'll show in a future podcast. But here's some of the ones we've got on the shop. Now, some of these are a little bit shorter because Loma didn't cut them right, but maybe we don't need so much on the top. Maybe you just want it for the skein. So we've got different colors here. Just wanted to give you an idea of what's on the shop. And all these, there's the same one that's over there. All these have the single drawstring. And what I did for the closures is we did buttonholes. So the string is actually folded in or woven in between buttonholes. And it is, most of them have paracord on them. Some have leather straps. So it's just kind of whatever coordinated with it.
Whatever looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are an Etsy. If you do live close to Blue Earth, we also have some at BS Studios.
BS Studios.
Yes.
You know, BS. It's really her initials of her name, but
Becky
it's hilarious. We love it.
Yeah.
The snarkiness of it. So something else that I made several of them, but Becky went ahead and put them in her shop, but I've got 2 here. This is my hook holder. So it's just a nice little containment area for all your hooks. So I have a tie on the outside. You go ahead and open it up. You got a flap up. Ooh, that one's safety orange. You know, in case of deer. In case you have someone trying to hunt deer, you want to make sure your hooks are all safe. So I've got several spots in here, and I brought over some hooks. A lot of the hook areas are big enough to put 2 or 3 of the hooks. I know I have lots of sets of hooks. I seem to accumulate people's stuff. So I have one that has like 3 of the smaller hooks in it. So this would make it nice and contained. I also do have a bigger pocket here for a pair of scissors or, I don't know.
Some of circulars, a little tiny pair of circulars.
Yeah, and then I've got a really big pouch over here that's just, it wasn't too big to put 2 of them. So I did one for some of those real chunky ones when we were doing big bulky fabrics. But I've got these 2 on the site. Nice. I'm not gonna, you know, put the bow on right now. But that's what I've got. Something else that we did is, here's some of Echo's items. Ooh, Echo's got items.
Yay!
There you go. Show your items
Awesome.
off.
So I made snap bags. I just wanted a project, so came up with it, saw this. We had a tape measure that was broken, so that is what is inside these.
It's like a slap bracelet.
Yeah, kind of like the slap bracelet.
Totally 80s, sorry.
So it'll open, and then when you let go, it closes. Have several of these. Made them for family, for friends, but these are the ones that did not go. This is Harry Potter.
And she had a couple
You love
extras
it.
of some of them.
Doctor Who.
Yay!
Kind of medieval characters.
Kind of makes me think of the Ren Fair.
Yeah, definitely. Some of these. This fabric is what Loma got when she was in Hawaii, so these are really cool. And, of course, Johnny Depp.
Oh, you gotta love Johnny.
Yep. Pirates of the Caribbean. So those are on Etsy as well.
And then Loma decided she wanted to make stitch markers. So, like I said, I accumulate people's stuff. So I had a neighbor give me a bunch of beads, like her whole collection of beads. There's one that we've made. That's actually a stitch counter. So it doesn't have a hook on it that you can take on and off. Like this one's just a little ring with a little diamond. It's a copper, and I'd put the larger hook on it. What was that called? I don't remember.
It's one of those clasp earrings.
Yeah, clasp earrings. So
Yeah.
a lot bigger hook can go on it. But the one she showed originally was the one that just slides through. You can't take it
This
off
one.
until it's to the end. I will be making some of those and putting them in a few kits. The ones that I'm showing now are on the site, so they will be available to purchase. I did them mostly as individual ones, so if you like certain ones, you just pick them and I'll put them into a kit together. I've got, you know, some pretty little, almost chandelier-like beads. I did some, what do we call those? Filigree eggs is what I called these ones. I did a couple different colors just to give, you know, some fun. Again, I have these individual so that you can pick the color that you like. Some butterflies with different colors in them. So you can see that. I will link to the Etsy site, but I just wanted to give you an idea. I had some really cool blue rose beads. So I did individual roses. And then we also had some smaller roses. As you can see, they're just a little bit smaller, but they are really cute. They're almost like, I don't think they're not made out of the poly clay.
Yeah, no.
But they make me think of the ones that were made out of poly clay. Again, these are, I'm calling them upcycle stitch markers because they are beads that I was just given, and
You don't
trying
want
to
to
make
just throw
something
away.
out of them. Yeah. So you got different keys and little silver rhinestones. You know, just a little bit of everything. So I'll have a lot of different stuff on the site. I keep making little things and putting them up there. So just always take a look and see if you like anything. If you're interested, some of them I may have not used all the beads. So if there's a certain color, you can always reach out and get a hold of me and see, you know, hey, I want that in purple, and I didn't see you did a purple, and I might have them. You never know. Again, it's upcycle, so once they're all gone, I'm not going to be able to get more. But there's other things up on the site. I think that's a good selection of what we have done. And I know that we're working towards getting, I'm looking at doing a circular, like a pouch, kind of like the hook holder.
Yeah, holder.
But we're going to do a circular holder. I think it's going to open.
Kind of project bag.
Yeah, a little bit larger project bag. So the ones we made, I would say would be considered a one skein or a sock project. I'm looking to do a little bit bigger one that is more of like a shawl
Kind of like
size.
maybe about the size of this.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's going to have a zipper in it, and I'm probably going to try to put some, at least one pocket in
Probably.
it for stitch markers or
We'll
anything
see.
like that. So hopefully.
I'm going to be doing some acrylic pouring on
Ooh, yeah.
gourds. They're dried birdhouse gourds. I used to do one-stroke painting on them, but I stopped doing one-stroke painting. I am too perfectionist to try to do it. So we got into acrylic pouring, and I love it. So we're going to try it. And then at the bottom, when you're done with your acrylic pour, you have all the excess stuff on the drips and all that. So once they dry, I'm going to try to make stitch markers out of them. So that'll be interesting to do. We just got the supplies yesterday, so that'll be fun. What else am I going to try to make?
I don't know. You've been kind of toying over this, so
yeah. I need to make something to bring to the table. I mean, I do washcloths, so I need to continue doing washcloths.
She does these really interesting washcloths that got a lot of bumps to them. I don't know if you can see all those bumps.
Bigger,
nice and thick, and what does everybody say? Squishy. I don't understand that, but. Yeah, these are really cool. So I'll push her to do more of these because obviously we have tons of stock of this cotton fabric. So she could always sit and do those like I do scrubbies, but she wants something more adventurous.
Well, you know, you gotta spice it up some.
Change your color.
Nah. But I think that's all we have for right now.
Yeah.
Definitely please let us know if we're crazy about doing this or if you really like it. But yeah, I think that's about it. So everybody have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it. I'm done.
Are you happy?
Oh, this is nice.
That is awesome. Does it just go out?